All right, well, this has been an exciting video this morning. Where I live, we have a big storm coming today, and so I don't know, I guess our power's knocked out like preemptively. Anyway, I think we're back for a moment, so hopefully you guys will find me again. And I'm going to pick up where I left off, which is here on this fun little fussy cutting bit that I was doing. So, you know, if you don't like fussy cutting, you don't have to like knock out our power to like end the video. So what I was saying earlier is that you want to go ahead and cut really close to the stamped image because you don't want to end up with a shadow line between your images when you're trying to put this together. So, all right, so I've got our pieces here, and I'm going to go ahead and place this right on top of our image that we've previously stamped, okay? And now, okay, at least one person has found us again. Sorry, guys. I'm going to go ahead and grab our extra piece here from Planted Paradise. If you're just finding this video as the first one, we're going to go ahead and layer some leaves behind on our cute little pot here. And so I'm going to go ahead and put one up here, and then I'm going to pop one up here to cover that little blurb that I had, okay? Let's see. Now, one of the things you might notice, and I'll show you this on the close-up, is that the depth of the Post-it note can make your image not quite show up, not quite stamp as evenly as you might want. So I'm gonna live dangerously and re-stamp that. There we go. So now it goes all the way down to the bottom, okay? All right, lastly, I'm gonna take this little like sprig stamp here, and I'm gonna go ahead and ink this one up in Calypso Coral. And I'm just gonna add a little bit here at the top. I'm not gonna worry. Okay, I guess I am gonna worry. I want that to look like it's connected to something, and maybe I'll pop another one down here. So we'll pretend that these are kind of translucent. Now, with all the craziness over having to restart my video, I forgot that I meant to mask across here. So normally you would pop this piece right here so that that doesn't end up on the side of your pot, but you might not worry about it too much. And then when we pull our mask off, we have this fun reveal where our pieces are all layered on there together. So just stamped flat, you don't have to fussy cut anything except for the mask, but it gives you that great effect, layered effect. So, all right, so this is gonna layer here on our card, and if you're just tuning in, you're gonna wanna watch part 1 of our video, which had the Bagalope here, which of course we made from one of the Sweet Thoughts, Memories and More cards and envelopes. So we cut that up in half and made it into this cute little envelope bag, and it's gonna stand like this. Let's go a little bit further out. There we go. So we have our Bagalope, and then we're going to go ahead and pop a strip here of the other contrasting card on our card here. So I'm gonna pop this down and then add this here as our sort of extra decorative strip. And of course that's the same size because it's just cut right off of one of the other cards. And then we're gonna layer our piece here. We'll add that with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and then add a greeting to this. Now I said the greetings you can use from anything. I'm gonna grab Heartfelt Hellos, and I really like this hello stamp here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull a piece of Petal Pink cardstock, which is a great match for these items here. And we're going to go ahead and stamp here, and then I'm gonna punch. So I'm gonna make sure I stamp down at the bottom. I'm gonna ink my hello in Pretty Peacock. Now Pretty Peacock right now is on the unavailable list, but it will be back. It's just out of stock, and we don't know for sure how long. So keep in mind, just add it to your next list when it comes back. So now this is the, oh gosh, I forgot the name of this punch already. Hold on, and I will check for us because it is kind of actually a perfect one. And we're gonna talk a little bit about choosing a stamp set to match these envelopes. And then the punch is also chosen very specifically to go with. Lasting Label Punch is the name of this one. Okay, so this is the Lasting Label Punch, and it is a really good fit for these elements. Let's talk a little bit about picking stamps and picking stamps to go with a certain design. Now, when I was looking at this cards and envelopes, I will say originally I did this with the Botanical Layers stamp set, which is not available now. Is really popular as a celebration choice, and so it's out of stock at the moment. You can get it later. It's in the catalog too, just not as a celebration choice. And the reason that I picked it is because it has a very bold look. The art in this envelope here is very bold. It's not like a detailed line. It's sort of big chunky shapes. And this matched really well as a big chunky shape thing. Now, when I was trying to pick a replacement stamp set, because of course I want to show you things that you can get, I was flipping through here and I looked very briefly here at Detailed Dogwood because it is beautiful. It has this little image here that matches with the Petal Park Builder Punch. It has this sort of fun vertical element, which would work really well as a shape for our layer here. But the problem is that this style is really different from this chunky style right here. And so I felt like it might be just a bit of a mismatch. It's just enough maybe to make you go, that's just not quite right. And so instead I went looking for a stamp set that had this big chunky effect, and Planted Paradise was a really good match for that requirement. So that's how Planted Paradise got picked in this project. All right, for that reason then too, the Lasting Label Punch was a good choice. It has these big funky, hey, there's me. It has these big funky shapes here at the corners, which really echo that same kind of shape. Pardon me. Okay, so when you're looking for design elements, this is a really good thing to consider. And I am losing my voice now too. We're like a comedy of errors this morning. I just put a little more glue in there to hold this down. Pardon me. Okay, we're almost done though. And I'm gonna add this here with Stampin' Dimensionals. And I almost always have a soda here when I'm recording so that if I lose my voice, I can recover. But of course, today's the day I don't. All right, then we're gonna add our greeting. Oh, before I do that, I want to use these fun little extra elements here. And I'm gonna go ahead and stamp this one. I'm gonna do it off center rather than making it go all the way across, because I really like the way this adds some motion to our project. It really feels like it's moving forward and gives us a little bit of extra element. Let's get some ink cleaned up there. All right, and then we have to decorate our Bagalope. So, okay, my voice is coming back. Whew. That was a brief and unhappy moment also. Gosh, quite the day, hey? All right, so we've got a dimensional under there, and then we have this here to fit in our Bagalope. Now we're gonna need some bling for this. If you guys are back on here, make sure you say hi so that I know you found me again. And then we're gonna use the gems, the foil gems, as our extra for this. So these are one of my favorites. They're iridescent foil gems is their name, and they are a great match for pretty much everything because they have these sort of like a gold, bronzy, champagne-y kind of fleck in them. And so you can get away with using them on pretty much everything. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna pop one here. We have one more embellishment coming for this, so I'm gonna leave a spot for it because, my voice has returned. We have a piece of petal pink here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give us sort of a medallion to go on this print. Now this is a really busy print, and so we want to create sort of a home base for our element that we're gonna add here. And so I'm gonna do that with the decorative circle. Pardon me, guys. The Dragonfly Punch is one of the extras from Sale-a-bration. It is in the second round of things that came out in February. And so you can order this in the catalog, or you can get this as one of the freebie choices under the new Sale-a-bration through the 29th. So we're gonna go ahead and use this. Oh, hi Kelly, I'm glad you're back. Oh, you've never made a Bagalope. Well, I see them in your future. I'm gonna go ahead and punch our dragonflies, and there's 2 on this fabulous punch. And one of them here is going to layer on our card. This other teeny one, I'm gonna pop a little dot of glue on, maybe a little bit more, and then pop this here on our card. All right, so that is going to just sort of solidify our focal point with our hello and give us our extra little element. But for this one, I really want this to have some texture. And so I'm gonna go ahead and pull I just want texture. So I don't really want a shape on there, but this stamp is gonna be a good choice because I have these fun lines. And so what I'm gonna do is go ahead and just stamp it a few times on here and give us that extra little line bit, okay, for our dragonfly. So see how it just has a little more interest. So here's the liney side and here's the non-liney side. And then with your glass mat, just go ahead and clean that up. All right, and now we can add this to our project. So I'm gonna use a dimensional and layer this onto our circle. So here's the difference here when you're designing. So here I could have just put the dragonfly on like this, but this is a little bit busy on a little bit busy. So if I pop this here instead onto our circle, then it just really has a little bit more presence, and it's not quite so crazy things going on there. So I'm gonna grab one of our little pearls, our iridescent gems, and pop that on there too, just so we have a matching embellishment. And then I'm gonna pop my dimensional on the Bagalope instead of the element, so that I can make sure that it doesn't overlap. So you can overlap the top here, so it comes up the top. And then there is our Bagalope and our card. All right. Okay, do you guys want to see the other version of this that I made? So this one features heartfelt hellos and planted paradise. The other version of this that I've made here, it's kind of the inverse here. This one features the botanical layer set. So watch for this one to come back because it's in the main catalog. So I think it's due back in like March sometime. So if you love this one, this is a good choice too, and has the greetings included. So this one says, "You mean the world to me. Thank you for everything and thinking of you." This is a good all-purpose, element kind of stamp set with the leaves and so forth. And then this was the fun original version of this with this leaf stamped there on our dragonfly to give it some texture. Okay. So 2 different versions of this with different stamps and pieces, but otherwise a great fun project, a Bagalope, and a way to take a pre-printed card and envelope and turn it into something fun. I love doing these with printed envelopes, especially because when the inside is printed, because it gives you that extra bonus. And then you can, of course, take this and pop some chocolate in here. And I have a mailbag project to share with you, and I'm stealing the chocolate out of it because holy moly, how perfect is that? Sue actually is my neighbor. She dropped off a fun treat for me and a card I'll show you in a second. But she also dropped off these sea salt caramel squares, which match our project today. So Sue, gold stars, thank you for providing the chocolate for today's project. Chocolate today brought to you by Sue. All right, so here's Sue's really pretty card. I love this. And the more dazzle paper, which you guys know I am a huge fan of. This is a great way to use a really pretty designer series paper, the way Sue did this, where she just double layered the really pretty paper on a card base. And I also love, you can see these stitches here. I love the way she sponged around the edge. I don't know if she used a sponge dauber or sponge or blending brush, but a really great addition here to bring that color in, right? Because we're always talking about using a color more than once. So she's got her green here from the background. She's got her peachy here to match these flowers. And she's got these pinkies here to match that background. So this is a retired paper, but it's really gorgeous, and I have always really liked it. So, and then she, of course, stamped a fun greeting there on the inside. So lots of good possibilities there, right? Thanks, Sue. And really, gold stars, thanks for providing the chocolate for today's project. So, all right, I apologize for the hiccup in the middle. If you're wondering where the Bagalope is, go ahead and check the part 1 video on Facebook, which was posted earlier this morning. And depending on whether I get them together, or not for the YouTube, you might see them as one version, or you might see it as part 1, part 2, in which case this is part 2, and part 1 shows how to make the fun Bagalope part of this project. So hope you guys have a great day with fewer power outages and crazy things going on, losing your voice or whatnot. And I will come back on Thursday with another Micro Mornings with Meg. Hope everyone stays safe in parts of the country that have crazy weather swings today. We are predicted to have mega storms. It is a high of 75 this afternoon, like around 3 o'clock. And then tomorrow morning, it is a high of 15 degrees when we get up tomorrow morning. So gotta love those temperature swings of 60 degrees or more. That makes for a great weather pattern. So anyway, I will see you guys on Thursday with another Maker Mornings with Meg, and thanks for bearing with me this morning. So happy stamping, everybody.